Continuity Cash Secrets. You can make serious cash, one small monthly recurring payment at a time. I, for one, absolutely love membership sites. I love continuity opportunities. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video course is membership sites, specifically the kind that involve us getting a regular monthly recurring income. Let's take a look first at, well, before we even do that, let me just explain to you that of all the things with internet marketing that I have done over the years and all the things that I have experience with, membership sites are pretty awesome for a variety of reasons, and we're going to touch on some of those in the next slide. But I just want to express to you that this, if you're looking for something that's a whole lot of fun to set up, a whole lot of fun to run, will involve potentially you getting your hands dirty as far as a little bit of technical stuff that isn't very difficult. It's not hard, especially with all the instructions that are out there, and something that makes puts you in the position to be getting money every single month, and something that easily can go viral. And by that, what I'm talking about is you setting up something successfully and then allowing other people that have joined your membership site to promote that for you. And you just, magnify the efforts of one by leveraging all your members and getting even more members. Let me tell you, memberships are the thing to do. Let's talk about first the market. Kind of an overview, really, basically, is what we're going to look at right here. And then I'm going to tell you why membership sites are so incredibly powerful. Why membership sites are great is what we're going to look at in the next slide. Just going to go over some of the things that I particularly love about them. We're going to look at the different types of membership sites and the two markets. We're going to look at a good market versus a great market. How to choose target markets, how to choose great target markets, getting ideas for your membership sites, and the 30-second do or die test. And then I even have some action steps for you to do, and some, actually kind of a game plan for you, and some charts, or actually checklist, I should say, so that you can go through and make sure that you got everything set up and you haven't missed anything. Why membership sites are great. I've already mentioned the monthly residual income. Let me tell you something about successful marketers, and not only marketers, but successful people in general. People who make a lot of money, they do it usually. Now, there are exceptions to this, okay? But usually it's because they have multiple streams of revenue. Most wealthy and successful people don't owe their success or their wealth to one particular thing. Most successful internet marketers do not owe their success to one product that they're selling or promoting, or one thing that they're doing. Having multiple streams of revenue is something that enables us, to rise above the tide, so to speak, because if we have a low month over here in this one area, that doesn't so much affect us, because chances are in another stream of revenue, we've got an even better month. Okay, so it really tends to balance things out. Now, residual income is even something that we can factor into that makes it even better. Residual, especially monthly residual income, means that month after month, we've got consistent money coming in. We have set up our efforts. We have one effort that we put forth, and month after month we get rewarded for that effort. Really, with a membership site, we can easily set up something where you set up one membership site, you'll find out it's so fun and easy to get going, and then you can move on. While that one's running, you can move on and set up another one in a completely different niche if you want. And what we've got there is multiple streams of revenue, residual income, and each one of those membership sites, it's a lot of people paying right? And it doesn't, the beauty of this is you're going to see it does not, you do not have to have some 5,000 member membership site to make money. Not at all. 500 members can make you more than you're probably making, if you got a regular day job right now. 500 members can make you more than that easily. We get passive cash flow. It just keeps on working. There's a lot of different models that we can set up with the membership site, and you're going to really control how much you're able to make depending on what you choose to do. Just as an overview, we're going to get into this a little bit later on in more detail, but just as an overview, I could set up something where somebody pays one time and they get access to a membership site where there's a lot of content there, and they just have it, maybe they access it for a year, maybe they access it for a lifetime, but that doesn't require much effort from me. And the membership site, one thing I really love about membership sites is making the deliverability very easy for the customer, right? And it looks nice and robust. So you've got your membership site set up, you've got content in there. Again, different processes, different models that we can go through. We can have them just pay one fee. They get access to everything forever. We could have them pay a yearly fee or a monthly fee. My preference is the monthly fee. But in order to do a monthly fee, you've got to go out there and provide new, fresh content, because you don't want them going through everything and then they get to the end and they're like, why should I be a member here still? Okay, so there's more work involved with the monthly recurring membership, but that's more beneficial to you because it causes your members to stay members for a long time. Stable and predictable income. Generally, if you've got a membership site, let's say you've got 500 people there. In January, if you've got 500 people, in February, 400 people are not going to disappear more than likely. You're going to have a few leave, yes, but you're going to have new ones come in and replace those. And so, in general, it's pretty consistent. You've got stable and predictable income. It's not so much if you follow my guidelines, which we'll discuss later on, you're not going to pick something that this month is a hot topic and next month it's not going to be. Or, something that's seasonal. Like you can make a lot of money on pay-per-click with certain affiliate offers during the Christmas season or Thanksgiving or something like that. But the rest of the time, that stuff goes up and down like crazy, right? The kind of search, you just go to Google and you can see the search results on a lot of keywords, and you can see it going up and down. It looks like a roller coaster. Not very consistent, not very stable. This is going to be. I'm going to show you how to pick something that is not going to go in and out with the tide, but is going to, hold its own. And nice thing is, when you combine the fact of I've got 500 people and I've picked, a good target for my model, then you got consistency on all points, and it's not going to just totally drop off. High customer value. Each and every one of your customers is going to be worth a lot more than if you had a typical one-off sale. So if I were to, sell an ebook, maybe I sell that ebook for $27. Well, that's all good and all. If I sell 500 copies of that, that's great. Even if I sold 1,000 copies of it, that's fantastic. But what happens after that sale? That's it. It's done for me. So if there's a way that I could come to, maybe I develop an ebook or a video course or something. If there's a way that I can figure out to deliver that content in a membership site and then continue to add value by adding more to it, maybe create another ebook every single month or a new video course or do something. There's really a plethora of possibilities of what you can add. But as long as I'm doing that, each and every member is going to be worth a lot more to me because it's going to be consistent every single month. Another membership fee, another membership fee. You can outsource 100% of everything I'm going to tell you about in this course. I don't actually suggest that you do that, especially your first time around. But I will be honest with you, I really kind of love this stuff. I like setting up sites. I like installing the scripts to get the membership going. It's really a lot of fun for me. So that being the case, I do it. I do it all myself. I do most of it myself, I should say. There is some grunt work stuff that I farm out. I farm out some support stuff. I don't want to deal with any of that kind of stuff. I might farm out some traffic generation stuff like, blogging, forum posting, that kind of thing. But as far as setting up the membership site and creating the stuff for it, a lot of that I do myself. And again, that's just because I enjoy it. You don't have to. I wanted to just put this in here to let you know that you can do it this way if you like. You can sit back and just be a manager. Setting up a membership site is actually fast, and I should put fun and easy. In just a weekend, you can go from, actually after you go through this course, you could literally go over just one weekend to picking out a killer niche and getting the site, get your domain registered if you don't already have one, get the site set up, get the membership area itself in place and functioning and working. I know it sounds like that's like crazy lot of work, but really it's not. And I'll see how much time I have here, but I'll show you if I can how quick and easy it is to get this stuff set up, and you'll see for yourself it's not that difficult. Plus, all the services that I'm going to suggest to you, everything that I use myself, they've all got super duper good tutorials. I don't know how much of that stuff I want to repeat. If you just go in there and watch the tutorials nowadays, most of the stuff, they've got really good stuff to help you get through it. And even if you're kind of not a technical person at all, if you're like computer illiterate and challenged to techie stuff, you can still accomplish it. If you can't, listen, pay somebody over in India or the Philippines or one of those countries over there, pay them $20 and they'll do it for you. And that's all there is to it. In fact, a lot of the services that I'm going to be mentioning even offer, some of them might offer a free installation, some of them offer a paid installation, but where you can just say, look, I don't want to fool with this super techie stuff, get it installed for me. And if you're willing to pay for that, no problem. You don't have to be the expert. When setting up a membership site, you can take it from the angle of you being a manager, really. You just kind of step back and organize things. You're kind of like a contractor. You don't actually do the roofing. You don't actually do the framing. You just coordinate everybody and let them do all the work. And I'll tell you about this. I used to work in, speaking of the construction industry, I used to work in the construction industry. And the contractor is typically the one that makes the big bucks. Now, does the contractor do most of the actual work? Nope. In fact, the people that do the work are kind of like the grunts. They're the ones that don't get paid very much. And, with the exception of some specialty stuff, but for the most part, they don't get paid a whole lot compared to what the contractor makes. And the contractor, that's all he does is organize and, put everything together when this phase should be done and that phase and who's going to be doing the work next. You can totally do that yourself in this whole project if you so desire, and you don't even have to know about the niche. That's right. You can go out there, not very hard. You can find somebody who knows about the niche, and you can have them create content for you. You can have them answer questions, all sorts of things, and you're totally clueless about the niche if you want that to be the case. Okay, if you know there's a very profitable niche and you don't know a whole bunch about it, there you are, you're set. No excuses. You don't have to know anything about it. Now, I advise, whenever somebody asks me about setting up something like this, I always advise pick something that you're very passionate about, something that you enjoy for your first site. That way you can set it up. You're involved in it from many different angles. You're going to enjoy yourself, and you can actually, create a lot of the content yourself, which is a lot of fun. Does this mean you're going to have a totally turnkey, ready to go membership site over the weekend? Absolutely not, because you're going to have to get content to put in there I'm going to show you some shortcuts. You could buy content, you could get some PLR content, you could get some public domain stuff, you could hire people to write content for you. There are some shortcuts and you can go very quickly, but you're not going to be setting it up over the weekend, let's just say that. That being said, though, this is something that it's worth taking the time to invest in because for the reasons that we've already mentioned, monthly residual income, passive cash flow, stable and predictable income. Lots and lots of good reasons for setting up a membership site. And it's easy to sell your membership site. Here's a fact. A lot of the information that we would be providing to people is worth more than $27, right? You know it is. I know it is. Not only that, but the other services that we're going to couple together with our membership site make it worth much more than that $27. Maybe it's worth a couple $100. But you have two choices here. You package everything all together in one big happy bundle, and you make it $200. Or you have a membership site that has all the stuff there as well, and you make it $20, $30 a month, and then you send traffic to those two offers. Which one do you think people are going to go after? Well, they're going to like the less expensive one for the most part because they know, hey, look, I got to pay $20 or $30. That's taking my wife out to dinner once a month. That's no big deal. So it's easier to sell it because you can show extreme value on one side and a low cost on the other. You don't have to charge them $197 because you're going to be, they can pay monthly. They can access as much information as you want. We also have some time-released membership sites, which I'm going to be featuring later on. I'm going to mention that more. But that allows me to have maybe a year's worth of content prepared already. And as they join, let's just, to keep things easy, let's say they join in January, right? They get access to January's content. In February, so long as they pay their dues, they get access to February's content, and so on. It continues for the full process. So they can't just come in and rip off all your content, download everything in 1 month, and then cancel, right? They actually, if they want to see everything, they have to go through the whole process. Membership site models. We're going to take a look at this, and I think we'll go ahead and take a break because I don't want to cram too much into your brain at one time, right? We all need to take a rest every once in a while. There are 3 basic models for what we could do potentially with our membership sites. Number 1 is a free membership. This could be, like a forum or a blog, MySpace, that kind of stuff. Those are sites that are essentially a free membership. With a forum, you got to go there, you got to register. Most of them, you have to have an account in order to post or reply to threads. So that's kind of like a membership site, but there's no cost to it. You go there, you register, you interact. The other one is a single pay. Here you pay once, and then you get access to the information for life. And that's definitely a good model. Even like what I suggest, let's say you're not going to do a monthly recurring thing, but you have a product that you're going to sell, even if you're going to sell it like on ClickBank, for example, something like that. I highly recommend that you consider setting up a membership site and having them access that membership site in order to get the content. Instead of just sending them to a page where they download a PDF, or send them to a page where they download the videos. What you do is you set up a membership site. It's more robust. It makes the delivery, much more sophisticated, and it gives you a higher selling point because in your sales page, you're able to say you're going to get, your fee here, even if it's a one-time fee, your fee gives you access, lifetime access to this membership site. And for some reason, just that term, lifetime membership access, that carries more weight than just purchasing an ebook and downloading it. They feel like they get something more, just because you're giving them that access. And of course, there is always the selling point that you let them know, from time to time, I am adding new content. There'll be fresh content added to the members area, and you'll have access to that for life. Very, very effective way to market your product there, instead of just, the regular buy it and they get a download link or something. Number 3, which is my favorite, is a subscription, a recurring subscription where they have to pay either yearly, quarterly, or monthly, however you want to work it. But that gives me money every single, whatever the cycle is there, it's consistent. That's my favorite one for a lot of reasons. Generally, you're going to make more money in the long run with that model than you would with the single pay. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take a break. And up next, we're going to take a look at a good market as well as a great market. A good market. A good market has desperate, impulsive buyers, people that want to buy right now. The reason that I mentioned this is because there are a lot of hot markets out there that are hot because there's a lot of people interested in it, but they're not buyers. There are markets where people do a lot of research, markets where, like I said, a lot of interest, where people are maybe even wanting to participate in a discussion group or something, but they're not impulsive buyers. What we want is, ideally, setting up a membership site, is a crowd of people that have that desperate, I got to have this now. I need a solution, like right now. And that's just for a good market. We're not even talking about a great market yet. Other advertising outlets besides just pay-per-click. So, in other words, lots of other opportunities where we could advertise, like banners or something on a website that gets a lot of traffic. And that kind of setup, we're looking at paying for like 1,000 impressions or something like that. Fulfillment as an information-only product, that's kind of a no-brainer. With a good market, we need to be able to service our customers with an information-only product, not something physical that we absolutely have to ship out, not something that we have to buy and then resell. We want that the information, because the cost of reproduction of information is basically nothing. So when you can sell something over and over again and there is no cost to production, that's a win situation for us. Proven internet buyers, just people that are willing to pay money over the internet and to purchase what it is that you're selling. There are some situations that people are there's actually some niches where people just don't like to buy online. They prefer doing it in person or even over the phone, and that's not what we want. We want them right there to click the button, make the purchase, and all of that stuff be handled automatically. Now, this is a good market. When we find, we're discovering what niche we're going to get into with our membership site, and these criteria are for what I would call just a mediocre market, really. It is a good market, but for if there was something I absolutely loved and it fit these 4 things, I could go ahead and do it just because I happen to love that niche and I want to get involved in it, and I'll probably still make good money at it. But first time through this, folks, we want to make buku bucks so that we've got a nice cushion of residual income coming in. So we're looking for a great market. Now, let me show you what a great market has. A need for ongoing support. Ideally with we don't want a one-off wonder, right? Where the ebook that they get, or maybe even a series of 4 or 5 ebooks, is going to give them everything that they need to know. That's not what we want. We want something where there is a continual need for them to come and maybe learn more, or there's a service that they continually need, maybe updates, things like that, ongoing support, so that when they sign up, they're going to go through, and month after month, they're going to get a new additional benefit from us every single month. That way, we got some retention, right? For a good market, what we looked at previously, there might be an information product that I'm looking to create and sell. And that would be fine if I'm selling it as they pay one fee and I deliver that product to them. That's great. Good market is fine. But for a membership site, we want these criteria here because it's going to fit in with our model much better. No seasonal demand. That means it's evergreen. You definitely don't want to touch something, that has to do with Christmas or Easter or winter or summer. Because what happens? Well, you kick up a whole bunch of customers in the summer, and then as fall comes in, your membership starts trickling down, and then it gets lower and lower, and by the time you're through winter, there ain't nobody there hanging out no more, and your momentum is totally lost. So it's gonna, good luck trying to get back up come spring and summer. You want something that is not contingent upon any kind of holidays or seasonal stuff. It needs to have a membership appeal. So in other words, some type of connection where people can feel that they are a part of something. And that's really, it's not that difficult to create that. It's kind of like, National Association of Photoshop Professionals. I love Photoshop, right? Just being a member of NAP, it has this appeal because there are a lot of little perks that you get. And being a Photoshop person, it just within that arena, there's something that comes along with that. You just want to do the same thing. But again, it's so easy to do. Hunting clubs, radio control airplane clubs, that kind of thing where there's like, I'm a member. You know what I mean? The yacht club, of course. Racquetball, all these things. I mentioned everything that I like. But any kind of membership appeal like that, you want to grab a hold of it because you're actually going to manipulate that. You're going to use that as a tool to keep people, your members, for a longer period of time. You use that membership appeal to make them hold on to their membership. And a great market has exactly what it takes to succeed. Bottom line, right there. These additional things that I have mentioned on top of a good market are what we need to make sure that our membership site is going to succeed. So we're looking for the qualifications of a great market. Now we're going to talk about the two markets, and this is kind of like I'm not talking about the good and the great market. I'm talking about the two types of markets within a great market, okay? First, we have consumer markets. Diets, cleanses, the healthcare, finance, hobbies, that kind of stuff. With those, this is the things that, the consumer is going to utilize. We've got a lower typical value because a lot of this stuff is just, for fun. It's for hobbies and stuff I'm talking about, and things that people just like to get into as something personal. For that reason, lower typical customer value, $10 to $30 a month is what you're going to be able to charge for those kinds of memberships. Now, huge potential customer base because we're going to be able to reach, like everybody is going to be interested in something. So if we set up a membership site, it's going to appeal to a lot of people. And I do mean a whole lot of people. And especially you can find some membership sites, some niches. I'm not going to give away any secrets right now, but you can find some niches that will literally appeal to, just about everybody. The other type of market is a business or trade market. Here we're talking about basically making money. We're talking about advancing in your career or, being a better real estate agent, being a better internet marketer, learning how to trade on the Forex more effectively, learning how to be an internet marketer, learning beginner stuff. You can definitely do beginner stuff because you got people that don't know how to do, anything online. They want to learn how to do something online. Or it doesn't have to be an online deal. It can be learning how to do anything, but it's career improvement. Higher typical cost to the customer because we're talking about making more money. Anytime you make a career, advancement, you got to pay more because you're going to make more. So here we're looking at $30 to $100 a month typical membership fees for sites that have to do with, making more money. You can market high-ticket items, expensive stuff, because when you're dealing with people that are talking about business, they're willing to pay more money, right? So if you've got, as a businessman, if somebody said they had a $1,000 product for me to buy that was going to make me an extra $1,000 the first month, and then after that, it was going to continue to make me $1,000 extra or save me $1,000 every month or whatever, I'm going to say, okay, $1,000, no problem, because, it's going to make me the money back. As a businessman, I'm willing to invest. So we can take those high dollar items and market to the people in our membership site and make, healthy commissions off of that. Not as many potential customers because it's business, right? It's people. Most people, the fact is, most people like to just, goof off or whatever. They're not really motivated to be an entrepreneur. You right now listening to me, you're in the minority. That's just a fact, because most people, what a lot of people like to do, they all say they want to make money, they want to have their own business, but what they mean, let me translate for you. What they mean is, I would like a turnkey solution that has zero effort and I make 10 grand a month. That's what they really mean. So since they're not really motivated to do what it takes to really create a business, that's the majority of people. So you are in a minority. Congratulations. That means, though, that you have fewer potential customers. You're going to make more per customer, but there are not as many of them out there. You will get better conversions, though, because, again, it's not a hobby, or it's not a, I'd like to this or that. It's business. It has to do with making money. There are two things. It's actually a phrase that these two things, it's not that I'm going to tell you to get into the how to make money niche or the diet niche, okay? But get the spirit of what this says. You can never be too rich or too thin. Now, all that this is really saying is that there are a couple of things that there's no end to. And if you can help somebody to do these things better, then that niche is going to be a successful niche for a membership site, because you're going to help, you're going to appeal to so many people, and it's going to be like an ongoing thing. If you did set up a how to make money membership site and you could actually help people to do it, then, they sign up, they're a member, they start making a little bit more money. You start putting together some other training for them. They're going to continue to get advice from you and to, just constantly be improving upon that. What we're going to do in the next video is start actually looking at how you can weed through all of the opportunities out there, all the potential, and select your target market for your very first membership site. There are a lot of ways that we can do this, choose a target market, but understand that I've been doing this a long time, so we're not going to, I want you to be a success with the first membership site that you set up. So since I have done a few of these, what you want to do is start with what you know. What that means is you have to get in your mind, like you're going to be dealing with this thing day in and day out. You're very likely going to be related intimately with your website. You're going to, probably learn a lot of things, because what I recommend to people is always the very first one, set it up yourself. It's not that hard. It can actually be a great learning experience. And then you know a little bit more of what's involved. You'll know more of what you would like to see. And if it works out really good for you and you decide to branch out and do another membership site, then you're going to, even if you have somebody else do a lot of the technical stuff, for example, you'll know how to give direction and you'll know what you want and how you want it to work, because there's a lot of ways that you can do just about everything. So you're going to be involved in this. You want to start with something that you know. If you are a carpenter and you've been building houses all your life, then consider things like that. Consider knowledge that you have. The fact is, with information marketing, all that we are doing is we're taking knowledge that we have and we're selling it to someone who doesn't have that knowledge. Now, in the old days, it used to be an apprenticeship where you would go and you would work for somebody and you would learn how to do what they know how to do for either no pay or very little pay during your apprenticeship while you're learning how to do it. Well, nowadays what we have is people pay money to learn how to do something. So do not take it for granted or underestimate anything that you know how to do, because there are today people out there that would like to know how to do that, and they don't. And they're going to do some searching, and they're going to look around, and they're going to try to find the things that they need to learn how to do it. So if you can offer that to them in a nice, neat, tidy fashion and bundle it together with the membership perks that we're going to be talking about in our training here, you got a winner. You've got people who want to know what you know how to do, and they're going to pay in order to do that. So we're going to start with what you know, and I don't suggest if you know how to do a lot of different things, I'm going to have a checklist for you, so you're going to actually be able to kind of weed that list down to the most potential, the one that looks like it's going to be the easiest. But I mean, pick something that you enjoy doing. Okay. If you're a welder and you work on an assembly line and you're like a really great welder, but you can't stand it, then you don't want to, get into doing something that, you're not really happy about. By the way, you're going to start with what you know, but we're not going to limit it to that. Okay. We'll deal with that on the next slide. Bookstores and libraries are excellent places to choose target markets, or at least get some ideas. Because here's what you can do. One of my all-time favorite ways to get an idea of a market is to go to a big bookstore, and I mean huge, right? Like a humongous Barnes & Noble. Go to the magazine section and just look. I mean, seriously, you know what you can do? If you absolutely can't think of anything, close your eyes, spin around, just point at the wall, open your eyes, and whatever magazine you're pointing at, there's your niche. I mean, it really is that simple. If there's a magazine, this is actually my 30-second do or die test. I'm giving you a head start. But if there's a magazine for something, that's just about a guarantee. So go to a bookstore, check out libraries, look at all the content that's there. These are things that typically, it's at least a great place to start. But with a magazine, for example, if somebody's gone to the trouble, you know how expensive it is to publish a magazine? If they've gone to the trouble of doing that, good chance that you got a big niche. And if there's like 5 or 6 magazines within that niche, I mean slam dunk. Compile and sort your list of potential markets just based on, what you know, ideas that you've seen at the bookstore or the library. So you've got this huge list now, right? We're going to start to even build on that list a little bit more. Here's some specifics with the what you know stuff. You might think, I said, start with what you know, and you're standing there and you might be going, I don't know nothing. I just punch numbers at work and I don't know anything. You do. Listen. Start with hobbies and interests. What are the hobbies and interests that you have right now? So it doesn't really have to be something that you know how to do, but something that you're interested in doing. If, for example, you're fixing to get into, bird watching, I don't know. If that's something that you've always had an interest in and you'd like to pursue that, then by all means, write it down. I don't know about you, but I want to do something with my life that I enjoy doing. And did you know that you can build up an entire business based solely on something that you enjoy doing? Ha! How about that for a novel idea? Absolutely you can. You can be very lucrative just doing something that you enjoy doing. And by all means, if I could help one person to better their life by doing something they truly love and making a living at it, then my mission is complete. What would I love to do every day if I didn't have to work? Whoa, how about that one? So now you're going to sit there and you're going to think, I don't have to work. I got all the money that I need. What would I like to do every single day? Because you're going to be dealing with it. Now, you're not going to do it every day. You don't have to go out and do it every day. But what would you be happy doing every day if I had the opportunity? Like, for example, with me, maybe I play racquetball 2-3 times a week. Would I like to play racquetball every single day? I probably could, and I wouldn't get tired of it. What about I got my pilot's license last year. What about flying every day? Could I fly every day? I sure could. Yeah, I could go flying every single day. So could I set up a membership site and really get into that? Yeah, I could. Here's the thing. You have got, the people that are successful in this are people that are passionate about what they're doing. So if you're kind of indifferent about something, that's not going to work. You have to be passionate about it. I love playing guitar. I don't, unfortunately, have as much time as I'd like to play guitar, but I could do it every single day, and I wouldn't get tired of it. That's for sure. So I could set up a membership site for playing guitar, and that would be something that I actually I've been meaning to do that for a while, but I got so much other stuff going on. That would be a great membership site if you're into playing guitar. Anything that you would have an interest in that you could say, honestly, I would love to do this every day. Maybe there's something you do every day. By all means, give that a consideration because you're going to be passionate about it. And that's one of the things that, one of the key ingredients to being a success with a membership site is you being passionate about it. What are some of the real life experiences and achievements that myself, have gone through or attained? If there's anything that you have done, maybe you went through bankruptcy, or maybe you were facing bankruptcy and you got yourself out of it without having to file. Maybe you got, like me, you got your pilot's license. That was a great achievement for me. Anything like that is attractive because there are other people that want to do it. And don't you think that they would like some help from somebody who has already gone through it? Absolutely. Maybe you were 150 pounds overweight and you lost it all in 6 months. Oof, that would be tough, huh? That would be fantastic if you can share that with other people. That's exactly what we're wanting to hit on. So just give it a thought a little bit. Is there something that I have, a difficulty I've come up against? Maybe you were $15,000, $20,000 in debt on your credit cards, and you got it paid off in like a year, and you want to share with people how you did that. There are other people out there right now that are in debt that much, and they want to know, they want your experience, how you went through it. What problems have I solved in my life? Look back through your whole life and think, where did I come up with a problem and actually get a solution for it? Really, there are a lot. I mean, this covers so many areas. Listen, it doesn't matter what you have done. I mean, there are so many areas that this covers. If there's anything you've tried to do and you solved a problem, it could be on the work, at the workplace. It could be a hobby that you have. It could be something around the house. It doesn't matter. Something that you have solved. Write that down. Is there any problems that I have not solved in my life? That's actually a really good one. You know why? Because there's a wound there for other people more than likely. And if you can build around that, offering advice on how we can, get a workaround or deal with it, learn to cope with it, or if there is a solution, having discussions on how to solve the problem, that's something that people would really, really jump into and get involved because it's something that's emotional. It's something that, they're having difficulty and they're struggling with it as well. Now, once you get this list done, and this, seriously, anybody, I believe, can make a pretty big list from just these things right here. It doesn't take much. And you might not think you've actually accomplished anything, but, in life, maybe there's nothing you can write down. But really, if you give it some thought, I think you'll be able to come up with something. If, however, you grew up in Siberia and you never had any interaction with other human beings, and I can't even imagine that would be the case, right? Because you would definitely come up with some difficulty and have to overcome it. But you know what? One thing about successful people, a lot of times because of their mindset, they solve problems, they jump over, hurdles, and don't even think about it and can't even recognize it. There are things that, like people, if you're like that, people probably look at you and are like, boy, I wish I could be like that. But you don't even realize it. You don't even notice that you're dealing with difficulties in solving problems. So if that is the case, and you can't think of anything, think about your friends and family. What hobbies does blank have? Put the name of somebody in your family there, or put a friend there. This allows you to step back and look at somebody else. What hobbies do they have? What are some of the real life experiences that your friends and family have gone through? Do you have a friend that had cancer and he beat it? Something like that. What problems has Johnny solved? What problems has Johnny not solved, for that matter? What difficulty, what things are people struggling with? What are they going through? Look at your friends and family, because that's going to allow you to step out of yourself a little bit and not be confined to that me mentality where maybe you can't think of anything. More than likely, you're going to, by this point, have a pretty big list. And honestly, I'm suggesting you write down everything that you can possibly think of for all of this stuff. Now, we're going to build on that and expand your horizons even more. What I suggest that you do, the sites that I'm going to give you right now, are going to be used as somewhat of a qualification for the things that you've written down, but you're also going to use them for more ideas, because here's what's going to happen. A lot of times you can't think of something and you need a mental trigger. The sites that I'm going to pull up here in just a minute are going to be that mental trigger for you. They're going to let you see things that you didn't think of. Okay, for example, ehow.com. That's a site where just people go and they do tutorials on how to do stuff. People request tutorials. If somebody out there is requesting how to do something and somebody has put together a tutorial, guess what? Okay, people are interested. Now you're thinking, well, they'll just go to eHow. Well, you just go there and you see the quality of all the stuff there, and you'll find out that, you don't have anything to worry about. But it shows us that people are interested. Plus, just because, all that means is competition, and competition is not a bad thing. I would rather be in a niche that had pretty hot and heavy competition than one that had no competition at all, because competition means there's a lot of people that are interested in it. mygoals.com, soyouwanna.com, hints and tips. These are all the same kind of thing. videolearning.com, great place to get ideas of content that you can create, things that people are interested in. eBay, you can go there. You can check out eBay Pulse. You can just go on eBay and see what's pretty hot and trendy there. Magazines.com. The next slide is going to reveal my do or die, my 30-second do or die test, where you will see where magazines.com totally comes in. But basically, go there, type in your keyword, and see what comes up. Or just go there and browse. If you can't think of anything, go there and browse. So as you're going through these sites, like maybe there might be things that you have not thought of, but you're going to see a magazine, for example, on some kind of hunting magazine, and you'll go, Bobby is a deer hunter. Things that you didn't really think of, but it's going to trigger it. magsdirect.com, mrmagazine.com, subscriptionconnection.com. All of these, same kind of thing. Lots of mental triggers and ideas. I have made this literally so that a troll under a bridge will be able to, go through this and think of something that is going to end up being a great market to set up for your membership site. Here is the 30-second do or die test. Simple as this. Is there a magazine or association that serves this market? So here you've got your list, and more than likely it's going to be pretty big. All you have to do is go to Google, type in a keyword and the word magazine. Or go to Google and type in the keyword and the word association. If sites come up, and if you can see, or magazines.com, if you go there and you can see magazines in that niche, it's basically a slam dunk. If you can find magazines for that keyword term, for that idea that you had, then there's going to be a lot of interest because, like I said before, it's very expensive to coordinate and get set up and print a magazine. They only do that if there's going to be a large circulation, like very large. And with some niches, you will find there are actually multiple magazines. That is a killer situation because what it means for you is that the market was so big that one magazine couldn't service it. So they had to have, Guitar Player, then they had to have Guitar World, acoustic guitar player, electric guitar player, all these different, I can't even tell you all the guitar magazines that are available. And what does that tell you? Tons and tons of people. And so that's a good thing. That means I set up my membership site. And don't be scared if there's already a membership site for there. Most of the time there will be. That's not a big deal. In fact, you can actually work with those people. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But so even having a competing membership site, not a big deal at all. All right, something for you to do now. Here's where we're going to just go out. Make sure that you've got at least 10 target markets that you came up with from the last two steps. The looking for your stuff, your interests, and for your friends and family, and then whatever, do a 30-second do or die test on some stuff, and narrow it down to at least 10 target markets that pass that 30-second do or die test. Okay, so you're going to have, I imagine, okay, you might have 30, 40 things written down by the time you go through all those things that we talked about. But make sure that you do the qualifications. Go to Google, type in a keyword in the word magazine, see if there is a magazine for it already. If there's not, don't write it down, scratch it off. But you want to get to where you have at least 10 target markets, 10 potential markets for you that pass that 30-second do or die test. It's not going to be hard, trust me. All right, coming up next, we're going to see how we can take that list of 10 and pick the one that's going to be the first membership site that you set up. Okay, so we've got your list now of at least 10 markets that fit pass the 30-second do or die test. And if you don't have those, I want you to stop right now. I mean it. You pause this video and you go and you do it right now, because no point in going on here. You got to be a doer, not a hearer. Okay, what we're gonna do is now start to weed out some of the markets and it's not that we're saying any particular market is a bad choice, but what we're wanting to do is find the absolute best match for us that has the greatest potential of success. I'll be honest with you. You could set up a membership site and it not work out. Very possible. Okay, so we want to give it the absolute best potential or opportunity, I should say. Review the traits of a good versus a great market, and then look at your list of 10 or more markets that you've written down. In evaluating each one of these markets, what you want to do is scratch off all the ones that are just good. If there is a market where you can't see that there's a need for ongoing support, scratch it off. So review those traits, narrow your list down a little bit, and then scope out the affiliate networks. See if anybody else is already offering something similar. And again, that does not mean, as a matter of fact, what we're looking for is we hope that there are membership sites available for that niche. Go to ClickBank, go to CJ, go to ModernClick. You are looking for other people doing it, because if somebody else can do it and they are successful, that means you can be too. If there's absolutely, no membership site for that niche, more than likely, I know there's going to be the temptation to think, oh, I found the golden egg. Probably not, you didn't, okay? Probably somebody set one up and it didn't work out. That's probably what happened. Now we're going to sort the list. What you're going to do is, let me get the rest of this stuff up here. My slide must have gotten backwards or something. What you're going to do is evaluate each thing that's left in your list and give it 1 point for everything on the left that it matches up to, and give it 2 points for everything on the right that it matches up to. Okay? So, if my niche was going to be hunting, for example, I would go through here and I would say related affiliate programs. Yes, there are, if I do some research and I find out that there are affiliate programs out there for hunting stuff, I'd give it a check and I'd put, a 1 by hunting. Advertising opportunities. I go to Google and I see if people are advertising. I go to other hunting websites and I see if people are advertising there. If they are, give that a point. Check it off. Desperate or impulsive. This is going to be speculative. You have to consider this. I personally would say hunting is not desperate and impulsive, so I wouldn't check that off. If it's something like an acne problem, and you want to set up some kind of membership site for dealing with extreme cases of acne or something, I don't know. But then that would be desperate or impulsive because, they've got embarrassment in there and they've got, maybe they got to get ready to go to the prom, whatever. But if it's not, then you just don't check it off and you don't give any points. Membership mentality. I would say hunting does have that. It's like a hunting buddy kind of thing. Need for ongoing support. A lot of this stuff is tied together because I'll tell you this. With the magazines, that's one thing that shows you there's a need for ongoing support. Because, there are some things that people will just be able to learn and then that's it. They have mastered it and they go on. But there are other things that require that ongoing support. With hunting, the magazines, I'll tell you what, they just, I don't know, it seems like every year, I subscribe to quite a few magazines. Every year, it's basically the same kind of story that they're telling, especially with hunting. But they're just trying to do it in a different way, or there's something new where they're trying to put a twist on it. But it's basically the same kind of thing. So need for ongoing support, I don't necessarily think that I would put hunting as need for ongoing support, just me personally. And it's going to be kind of subjective. You're going to have to make that decision yourself. Year-round sales, evergreen. Now, here it's going to get a little bit tricky, with hunting at least. What I would have to do is I'd have to consider what kind of hunting membership site am I going to set up. If I'm going to do, just hunting in general, then I might be okay because there is opportunity to do different kinds of hunting at different seasons. And I could have different sections in my membership site and a forum and all of that. And potentially there, I could go ahead and say year-round, yes, it's definitely going to be okay because, they've got the deer season and then they're going to do turkey and they're going to do coyote and fox and all these different things if I'm tying it together. If, however, I was doing a hunting website, hunting membership site that was specifically for deer, that probably wouldn't be a good deal then because that is going to be seasonal. There's a deer season and it's not very long, at least not long enough for me. And what that means is that during the off season, not probably really going to get a lot of traffic to my membership site. Nobody's going to be busting the doors down to get in because maybe a month or two even before deer season opens up, I might see some people coming in because they want to read up and learn and stuff. And then throughout the season, fine, but then it's going to taper off after that. I don't want that, right? So depending on the kind of site that you're going to set up, you got to think about these things. If it is year-round, put a check, put a 1 beside it. Okay, now these over here, these are worth 2 points because they carry more impact. Do I have a personal interest or a skill? In other words, is this something that I really like and enjoy, and do I know how to do it? If that is the case, check it off. Give yourself 2 points for that particular idea. High ticket market. Are there expensive things that could be sold in this niche? With hunting, of course, I've got rifles, I've got bows, crossbows, and yes, you can actually sell this stuff even though it's a membership site. If nothing else, you can go to CJ and you can get an affiliate link, and you can promote a crossbow to the people on your membership site that are bow hunters. And when they click the link and they go to the website for the CJ vendor, you're going to get a commission on that. So if there's high ticket items, 2 there. A story to tell. The reason this is so powerful, and it's in the right column here, is because it's a high selling point. If you've got a story to tell, like, for example, I say that you were fixing to declare bankruptcy, or your house was going to be foreclosed on, or whatever, and you got yourself out of financial hardship, and now you're making, $200K a year. If you've got that story that you can personally tell, very powerful, very, very powerful. Existing membership sites. If there are already sites out there, again, remember I said that's not a bad thing. That doesn't scare us off. That excites us. Yes, there are successful membership sites out there. All I got to do is differentiate myself, do something a little better or a little different, and then get the traffic. And I'm going to have, I'm probably going to be successful as well because there's people interested. Is there an existing association or magazine? You need to find them. And what I would say with this is, because actually everything that is, most of the stuff that's on your list right now should have already passed the 30-second do or die test, but there still could be some things on there, that you were just got an idea when you did the brainstorming kind of stuff and looked at eHow and all those different kind of sites. If, though, there are that you just find one magazine, give yourself just 1 point for that particular idea. And if there are multiple magazines, then give yourself 2 points. I would say, actually, let's say 1 to 2 magazines for the first one, and then 3 or more is worth 2 points. Because that means the more magazines, the more potential, the more room, and that means that probably the supply is going to be less than the demand. And ideally, that's what we would like, is where there's a hole, essentially, and you need to be able to fill it. Okay, so now you're going to take all of your list, and if you do this in Excel, it's totally easy, but basically you're going to take your list, you're going to add up all the points, get rid of the ones that have been scratched off or eliminated already, okay, and then you're going to sort the list based on the number of points that particular idea has. And what do you think you're going to do? You're going to take the one that has the most points. That's where you're going to start. That doesn't mean that you write off all the other ones. In fact, I suggest that you do start like an Excel spreadsheet and put them all in there and save that and leave it, because once you get once you get this membership working and it's pretty much on autopilot, you're going to set up another one, and you've already got your list in front of you, sorted even, so you know where you're probably going to start next. All right, what we're going to talk about in the next video is ways that we keep our members involved and longer retention. In other words, a lot of membership sites, they get people to come in, they stay for 2 or 3 months, and then they end up leaving. We want to make our website, our membership, so compelling that people don't want to cancel that membership.